They called it a land of sages, a land of spirituality, a land where minds reached for the heavens and hearts sought the divine. But ancient India was more than temples and philosophies. This is the story of ancient India, its streets, its people, its eternal spirit. For centuries, the world looked away, seeing only what it wished to claim, ignoring the brilliance that thrived here. Yet India's legacy cannot be hidden, not in ruins, not in the passing of time, but in the very spirit of her people. Timeless, indomitable, unshakable, a civilization that mastered both thought and action, that built cities, systems, and societies with vision and care. And even today, that legacy calls to those who will listen. India is eternal. India is alive. India rises, and she will always rise. So what happened to the India that built, planned, and governed its cities with unmatched brilliance? Cities the world has all but forgotten? Long before the world marveled at empires and monuments, India was building the extraordinary. Streets hummed with life, markets thrived with trade, and homes were crafted with foresight and care. Every corner of her cities reflected the vision of a civilization that dared to dream and then dared to build. This was a nation that did not wait for the world to define greatness. India created greatness herself. Ancient India's cities did not vanish by accident. They were masterpieces of human vision, crafted with care, purpose, and pride. Every street, every home, every public hall reflected the genius of a civilization that valued beauty, order, and the well-being of its people. Time, invasions, and upheavals could try to erase them, but they could never erase India's brilliance. India was not just a land of temples and sages, it was a land of builders, planners, and innovators. She imagined cities that thrived, streets that sang with life, and systems that put the welfare of her people first. Hygiene, civic responsibility, and public care were not luxuries. They were rights woven into the very fabric of her neighborhoods. Stepwells, baths, marketplaces, and squares celebrated life and community. India did not wait for the world to teach her greatness. She created it herself. She planned. She built. She rose. And even today, her spirit endures. Her cities may have faded, but the genius of India, eternal, indomitable, and proud, still shapes the world. India is not just history. India is a legacy. India is glory. Water was the heartbeat of every Indian city. Stepwells, reservoirs, tanks, and communal wells carried life to every corner, ensuring no neighborhood was left wanting. Ingenious networks of terracotta pipes and canals delivered water, carefully filtered and boiled for safety. Stepwells were sanctuaries of community, spaces for music, conversation, and reflection. In India, water was never just survival. It was culture. It was civilization. Every drop reflected a civilization that honored life, planned with foresight, and built cities that thrived for generations. India understood that life itself is sacred, and she engineered her world accordingly. Ancient India did not merely exist, she thrived, guided by the wisdom of Vastu Shastra and Manasara, aligning every home, every street, with the sun, the wind, and the harmony of the community. Neighborhoods pulsed with life. Inland homes rose strong from brick and stone, flat roofs defying the scorching sun. Coastal homes curved gracefully, bamboo and wood-shaping roofs that danced with the monsoon rains. Courtyard houses were masterpieces of sunlight, breeze, and social life, an orchestration only a genius civilization could achieve. Wealthier homes gleamed with carved woodwork, fountains, murals, and gardens, celebrating life, beauty, and purpose. Every structure, every space was not just shelter. It was a testament to India's vision, her artistry, and her spirit. India did not merely live. She elevated living into an art form. She built not for today, but for eternity. This was the India the world forgot, but the India that continues to inspire. Cities were alive with sound and motion. Theaters echoed with music and drama, built with precision from the Natya Shastra. Designated districts hosted poetry, performance and debate. Arenas showcased wrestling, chariot races, and equestrian feats. Gymnasiums were spaces not just for strength, but for philosophy, discourse, and exchange of ideas. Ancient India understood that a flourishing city is not only about stone and mortar, but about human expression. She cultivated intellect, debate, and culture alongside commerce and construction. Town squares were the heartbeat of every city, shaded by trees, lined with sculptures, platforms, and bustling markets. Festivals, debates, fairs, and daily life flowed through them like the monsoon itself, vibrant and unstoppable. Parks and botanical gardens, tended with care and precision, left travelers from distant lands in awe of India's vision and order. Public spaces were never mere utility. They were celebrations of life, community, and beauty. India built her cities with pride, foresight, and joy, because her people were sacred and their lives deserved nothing less than greatness. In ancient India, cities thrived not by chance, but by design. Streets were alive with purpose, one for jewelry, one for textiles, one for pottery. Markets were not chaotic. They were organized, fair, and flourishing. Guilds ensured standards, wages, and prices, turning commerce into an art of order and justice. Every coin spent, every trade made, every craft produced reflected the brilliance of Indian ingenuity. India's economy was never an afterthought. It was the heartbeat of her civilization, vibrant, equitable, unstoppable. And it wasn't just trade. Healing, knowledge, and education were pillars of the nation. Hospitals were public, free, and advanced. Wards for surgery, recovery, and infectious disease cared for all. Students trained under masters, practicing surgeries recorded by Sushruta, cataracts, rhinoplasty, fracture setting, centuries ahead of Europe. Learning thrived in Taxila, Nalanda, and beyond. Libraries, lecture halls, dormitories. Knowledge was alive, public, shared. India did not wait for the world to teach her. She led. She innovated. She healed. She illuminated the world. This was a nation that did not follow. She defined the path. She did not just exist. She excelled. Palaces were more than monuments. They were the heartbeat of governance. Courts, tax bureaus, treasuries, and strategy halls coordinated the life of the city. Around them, temples, stupas, and monasteries thrived, employing artisans, sponsoring festivals, feeding travelers. Faith and civic life were inseparable. Every law, every plan, every decision existed to serve the people. India showed the world that governance is not separate from culture. It is its lifeblood. The streets themselves told stories. Taverns, restaurants, and communal halls pulsed with energy. Caravans arise welcomed travelers from distant lands. Roads carried carts, chariots, and pedestrians, conduits of goods, knowledge, and culture, keeping the city alive, moving, and connected. Hospitality was sacred. Movement was celebrated. India built networks before nations existed, linking people through trade, learning, and friendship. And when it came to protection, India left nothing to chance. Massive stone walls, deep moats, iron-studded gates, and watchtowers safeguarded citizens. Escape tunnels, fire brigades, and patrolling officers ensured safety. This was not improvisation. This was deliberate design. Every citizen mattered. Every life was a testament to the vision of the nation. India did not just build cities. She built civilizations that endured. So why do so few imagine this world? Ancient India was not only a land of sages and temples, it was a land of streets, homes, guilds, hospitals, markets, workshops, theaters, gardens, and festivals. A civilization that mastered water, hygiene, governance, architecture, art, and community life. Refined, practical, and profoundly human. Its seeming disappearance is not because it never existed, but because time, climate, invasions, neglect, and changing rulers layered over it. Stone outlasted wood. Sacred buildings outlasted domestic ones. Memory outlasted the physical form. Yet in ruins, inscriptions, travelers' accounts, and oral histories, the outline of this civilization remains. A city where life was complex, joyful, regulated, expressive, and documented, real, not imagined. Ancient India did not separate the spiritual from the worldly. Temples and marketplaces were built with the same care, the same philosophy, the same sense of aesthetic meaning. The city itself was culture. Today, that legacy is not a relic. It is a lesson. It is a call. India remembers. India builds. India endures. Her people, her citizens, carry forward the same spirit that raised these cities, engineered these systems, and shaped a civilization the world once marveled at. Because only when a civilization remembers how it lived does it truly remember who it is. And India? India has never forgotten. She rises, she endures, she inspires, she always will.